Hi guys, welcome to Our Media Sports, and I am your host Mercy. Good afternoon, and today we are looking at FIFA Club World Cup, the journey so far, and what to expect in the next, group of matches, which is the semi-final stage. We have the teams ready, the stage is set. We want to take your predictions before we go into this discussion. So for the semi-final stage, the matches kick off Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we have Chelsea facing we have Chelsea facing Fluminense, and then PSG facing Real Madrid for the semi-final matches. Now, I want to hear your predictions for both games. Who do you think is going to progress to the next stage of the competition? Now, away from predictions, we are looking at what the match will be, moving forward, and what to expect, especially looking at the big clash between PSG and the Real Madrid, and also looking at the potential clash between Chelsea and the Fluminense. Now, Chelsea have won the Club World Cup before in 2022, and I think if they progress and then go to the final stage of the competition, they may stand a clear chance of winning it once again. Now, let's not forget that if Chelsea, even without even taking this year's cup, right, they have, for the first time, they have been one of the teams to win all cups in the UEFA Championships. So there's the Champions League. Chelsea has a Champions League. Chelsea already has a club, World Cup. They have the Conference League, and they have Europa Cup and then the Super Cup. So Chelsea literally, they are giants in European football, American football also, to be precise. And I want to hear also what are the things to look out for in that match, because let's not forget that Fluminense has come this far because they deserved it. Times they are here and they are making history, and they're looking at cementing their names in the history books. Coming up against Chelsea, it's a big game. Chelsea, let's not forget, Chelsea has not lost a game so far, and I don't think they are ready to let go of this semi-finals match. But Fluminense, on the other hand, have shown a lot of quality. They've shown a lot of grit. They've shown a lot of power. They've possessed most of their games. Their last game against Al Hilal was a terrific game, winning and beating them, and then throwing them out of the competition and having to face Chelsea is a big thing. So for that match particularly, I am not sure what the scoreline will be. I am actually hanging there. I'm in the middle. I don't really know what is going to happen with that match, because I don't want to discredit Fluminense for the work they have done so far. They've done tremendously well so far, and I for one don't want to discount them. But I also know the effort Chelsea has put through. They are champions in their own right, and I think they can also pull up a nice game. But notwithstanding, that game will be a very beautiful game, and you can watch it with us on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We will stream the match live, watch along. We'll discuss the match. We'll talk about how the match is going. You can also join the conversation on our channels. We'll be live for that one also. Now, for the game between PSG and Real Madrid, and two European champions, Real Madrid reigning, UEFA Champions League winners, and Real Madrid all-time Champions League winners with 15 Champions League, cups. 15 as against, PSG's first ever Champions League win. This is not to say that PSG is not up to the task. No, PSG have, led the France team. They've won the Coupe de France, the Ligue 1. They've won the Champions League, and they are looking forward to conquer the whole world, which is if they are able to get this FIFA Club World Cup Championship. They have done they would have achieved a new feat in football, and I think their fans will be very happy for that. But let's not forget that Real Madrid in this game may be the more wealthy. these teams, PSG, Real Madrid, what are their chances? Who are you pitching for the win? Who do you think is going to, get the ultimate win and then progress to the final stage of the competition? Now, right now, there's a lot of tension. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who is a staunch PSG fan, and he seems to believe that yes, for sure, PSG is the team. PSG is the team to lead, to get this cup at this point, because what they've literally won it all from France coming to you. They've literally won it all, and they stand a higher chance of winning it. And I seem to agree with him to some points, but then I'm led to I remind myself of the fact that Real Madrid is that team that does not give up, until the very last whistle when it comes to games like this. And this is a semi-final game. This is a big game. For me, Real Madrid, their performances in their last two games, the game against Juventus and the game against Dortmund, they didn't show too much winning power. I think that there was a discussion that we had one time on this channel, and we were led to believe that Real Madrid seems to pull up with the right amount of energy depending on the type of game that is being played. So if it is a small team or a smaller team, or a team that is not really head-to-head or toe-to-toe with them, they tend to water down their energy up until when they need it. But I'm led to believe that for this very game against PSG, they cannot create room for any of those chances. They really have to go in with their all from the very start of the first whistle to the last whistle, because we can look at Luis Enrique's performance, and his boys are on fire. There's about 3 of his boys who are being pitched for the ultimate Ballon d'Or win, and that is to tell you that the team is not playing, and the team is not a side to be joked with. PSG right now is not a small team, and like Lionel Messi said, they are the best team in the world right now. I want to hear from you also. Do you think PSG is the best team in the world right now, based on their performance this past season? Or do you think Real Madrid still maintains, the position as the ultimate team and the most decorated team, with 15, Champions League trophies and all other, several other trophies to their name? Who do you think is the best team in the world right now? Do you agree with Lionel Messi, or do you think that there's some other team that's doing great that we need to acknowledge or recognize? Now, from the expectations that we are all expecting, from all the talks, the predictions, and all for these two matches, let's not forget that the FIFA Club World Cup, this is a new version of the FIFA Club World Cup. This is the extended version of the FIFA Club World Cup, where 32 teams have come together, and so far we are left with 4. That should show you how much effort has been put into this game. Prior to the start of this game, there was a lot of controversies into the credibility of it. The weather conditions came up as conversations, but let's not forget that in a year from now, which about the same period, the World Cup is going to be held, and it's going to be held in the same country, USA, Mexico. And looking at the weather conditions and the complaints that have come, I am tempted to believe that for the World Cup, the organizers will do better at the weather, at providing players with the necessary things that they need, because there's been a lot of complaints. The last game, I think, with Dortmund and Real Madrid, there were complaints about weather conditions and all not. You can see cooling breaks, about 2 to 3 cooling breaks in a single match, and it's just not favorable. So I'm tempted to believe that the Confederation is taking notice of all these challenges and will do better leading up to the World Cup. But all of this speculations does not take away the fact that the weather conditions are not favorable. Some of the conditions surrounding the matches are also not favorable, and there's a lot happening. But so far so good. We've come this far and are just 4 teams in. I'm sure that from the start of this competition, a lot of people did not see certain teams that have made it this far, making it this far. maybe for PSG, someone would have said, okay, since they recently won the Champions League, they making it, past the quarterfinals or even going to the finals wouldn't be surprising. I think somewhere in the middle of the tournament, people started to raise a conversation about them becoming possible winners of this competition. And then all of a sudden, Real Madrid is also in the conversation. So we have Real Madrid, PSG, Chelsea, and Fluminense, which is that Fluminense. I also wish them all the best leading up to the end of this competition. Now, still on FIFA Club World Cup, over the weekend during the game between Bayern and then PSG, Jamal Musiala, he had an injury, a very serious injury, a video of it, but we'll share some of the scenes, of that very sad incident that happened over the weekend. And you can see his ankle and his whole foot just twist into a different direction. That is a very painful look. Me as a spectator, me as a football fan just watching, I felt the pain. I can't imagine what he's actually feeling, but I felt the pain looking at the direction in which his foot went. And according to reports, he's going to be out for several months. He's going to be out for several months because he also recently came back from an injury in April. So talking about fitness, I'm not sure he was really 100% up there before this also happened. So it means that all things being equal, Bayern will be missing Jamal Musiala for quite a long time, and football in general will be missing Jamal Musiala for a very long time. Now, I don't know if this is also, I don't want to, bring up sad events, but talking about sad events, I think it's only right that we talk about Diogo Jota and his untimely demise alongside his brother Andre Silva, who died, on Thursday on their way to, well, they were traveling somewhere. I've forgotten the details of their travel, but they were traveling by road and they were to board a ferry because he was told not to take a plane, that he wasn't physically fit to board a plane. They have 3 kids together. He was just at the peak of his football career, having won the Nations League, having won, the Premier League with Liverpool, and looking forward to doing bigger and better things. And then, unfortunately, meeting his untimely demise. Now, this news has shocked the whole of football world. I think on that Thursday there was a match that was held, so it was just right. Several other players in subsequent games after this incident have paid tribute. There's been Mbappe, after he scored his winning goal against Dortmund, paying tribute to Diogo Jota. There's a lot of guys. I remember the names and I'll let you know who they are. But the whole of football has been rocked by this sad news, and once again, we extend our condolences to the entire family, and we say that may they find peace in this time and may God be with them. That's all we can say for now. And moving on from sad news and all of that, over the weekend, the Ghana Football Association held the President's Cup. Now, if you're a Ghanaian or a Ghanaian football lover, a lover of the local league in Ghana, you know that every year in July, the Ghana Let's not forget that Kotoko was the ultimate winner of that match. One thing also is that this very so coming up against their very strong rivalry, which is Accra House of Oak, and then clinching a 2-1 win over them in this very to win a game, in 5 matches, 4 losses, 1 draw, no wins so far, and people are asking questions. Is this the end of House of Folk? Can they pick up from this? Would they get better? What is Kotoko doing better than House of Folk? It's always about Haas and then Kotoko. Yesterday, there was a lot of fun moments from the stadium, from President Mahama singing along to Shatawali's Mahama Pipa, fun excitement and totally trying to take a different turn. Though not a drastic turn, but we are genuinely happy about the turnover for the turnaround for the attendance and all of that. There were quite a number of people, and the game was great. At the end of the day, the President John Mahama Award for the CONCACAF game. The U.S. national men team and Mexico took their 10th gold award. They took for the 10th time. I don't know what the expectations were for this match, but looking at some of the conversations that have come up, after this match, it's seeming to look like the U.S. fans are very disappointed in their game, because next year the World Cup is going to be held in USA, and the US national men's team is literally a clear representation of football in the US, and for them losing this major game, this major final to Mexico is raising a lot of eyebrows, and people are talking a lot. We also want to hear from you. What do you think of the U.S. national men's team's game against Mexico? Do you think it was a well-deserved win? Do you think the U.S. could have done better? Or, yes, finally, the Mexico guys, they've come forward consistently. They've shown their grit, they've shown their power, and they keep winning the cup. Maybe they just deserved it once again. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm ready to read your I'd like to close off today's presentation by saying thank you for joining me today on Our Media Sports as I bring you the tidbits in the world of sports. I really hope you enjoyed yourself. We've discussed FIFA Club World Cup, we've discussed African football, which is Ghana Premier League, President's Cup, we've discussed US, we've discussed, what to expect in the next upcoming games of the FIFA Club World Cup Championship. There's going to be Chelsea, Fluminense, which is happening tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we have Real Madrid, PSG, two giants. That is a clash that you do not want to miss. Now, if you don't know where to watch these particular matches, I'll entreat you to join us on our live as we do, the talk show as we talk, and then watch the match, discuss the match, and then talk about the intricacies of the match, the lineups, what could have happened and what could have been done better. We talk about the match in full on our media channel. We'll go live and then we'll discuss, and I would love for you to join the conversation, share the live, recommend it to a friend, comment, and just keep it interactive, because your interaction matters so much to us. That is why I keep asking you questions just to get your engagement. So please stick and stay with us, and thank you for joining me today. It's been me, your host, Mercy. Catch you some other time.